Namaste, welcome back to my channel. This is Priyadarshini. In this video, I'll be discussing balanced diet, nutritional roles of the food constituents, and the disorders of the digestive system. A balanced diet is really necessary to stay healthy. I have made videos on the whole chapter of digestive system and I have put the link in the description box. If you want, you can go through it. Whatever videos I am making, the content is sufficient for the competitives. इससे ज़्यादा एग्जाम्स में क्वेश्चंस नहीं आते हैं, तो let's focus on the basics and continue. So without wasting time, let's start our topic.
First, we'll discuss balanced diet. A diet is said to be balanced when various nutritional materials such as proteins, carbohydrates, fats, minerals, vitamins, roughage, and water are present in sufficient amount and proper proportion. Various constituents of the balanced diet provide energy, growth, repair, and replacements of cells, and physiological regulation. Our food should contain the various nutrients in such proportions such as to satisfy all the needs of our body. It has been discovered that our energy requirement we obtain about 50% from carbohydrates, 35% from fats, and 15% from proteins. Balanced diet of each individual can be determined according to his or her needs. Now we will see the nutritional roles of food constituents. The first is carbohydrates. These are found in sugar, cereals, bread, biscuits, potatoes, fruits and vegetables. These are classified as monosaccharides, disaccharides and polysaccharides. Monosaccharides examples are glucose, fructose, galactose. Disaccharides are sucrose, maltose, lactose, and polysaccharides are starch, glycogen, cellulose. Carbohydrates are absorbed from the alimentary canal as monosaccharides. These are used primarily as a source of chemical energy to be either metabolized immediately as glucose or stored as glycogen. The synthesis of glycogen is called as glycogenolysis. Carbohydrates are also stored in the body cells as glycogen and are used for the production of energy whenever required. The liver can store glycogen to maintain blood glucose level for several hours. Under acute starve conditions, the liver cells begin to convert amino acids and the glycerol into glucose. Such production of new glucose is called as glucogenolysis. Now we will see proteins. Proteins are made up of number of units called amino acids. 22 amino acids have been identified so far. Amino acids are divided into two categories. First is the essential amino acids and the non-essential amino acids. Essential amino acids are so called because they cannot be synthesized in the body. These are obtained from nutrition. 8 amino acids cannot be synthesized in the body and therefore must be included in the diet. These are isoleucine, leucine, lysine, methionine, phenylalanine, thiorein, tryptophan and valine. Non-essential amino acids are those which can be synthesized in the body. The non-essential amino acids are alanine, arginine, asparagine, aspartic acid, cysteine, glutamic acid, glutamine, glycine, histidine, proline, serine and tyrosine. Arginine and histidine are considered semi-indispensable amino acids. Remember, arginine and histidine. Amino acids can be classified into three groups: neutral amino acids, acidic amino acids and basic amino acids according to the pH. Proteins can be classified as first class proteins and second class proteins. First class proteins contains all the amino acids in the correct proportions. They are derived almost entirely from the animal source and include meat, fish, milk and eggs. The second class proteins do not contain all the essential amino acids in the correct proportion. They are considered nutritionally inferior to the animal proteins with respect to the essential amino acids. They are mainly of vegetable origin. Examples of second class proteins are peas, beans and lentils, which are known as pulses. A small proportion of Second class protein is to be found in the other vegetables and in some of the mainly carbohydrate foods such as bread and potatoes. Proteins are used as structural components of tissues as channels, transporters, regulatory molecules, and enzymes. Amino acids, the units of protein, are required for the formation of growth and repair of body cells. Therefore, protein requirement rises during pregnancy and lactation. Infants and children also need good quantity of proteins. If proteins are not provided properly, two deficiency diseases named marasmus and kwashiorkor are caused in children. Amino acids are also needed for the formation of blood proteins. They help in formation of some secretions of the cells. Example hormones like adrenaline and thyroxine. Amino acids are also required for the formation of products like heme of hemoglobin, the skin pigment melanin, and purines and pyrimidines of nucleic acids. Some amino acids give rise to carbohydrates in the body. When protein is eaten in excess, the nitrogenous part is detached and excreted by the kidneys, and the remaining portion is covered into fat which is stored in the body. Now we will see fats. Fats are divided into two groups, animal and vegetable. Animal fat is found in milk, cheese, butter, eggs, meat, oily fish such as cod. Vegetable fat is found in margarine, which is the butter substitute made from animal or vegetable fats, and in vegetable oils. Nuts of various kinds are the best source of vegetable oil. The fat cells of adipose tissue can store up to 95% of their volume of triglycerides, and for this reason adipose tissues are often called the fat depot of the body. The triglycerides are used as fuel. Since fat oxidation gives about 2.5 times the energy yielded by the sum weight of the glycogen, so fat is more suitable as stored food. In man, 10 to 25% of total calorie requirement should be met with fat. The ratio of saturated and unsaturated fats should be low because an excess intake of saturated and unsaturated fats such as ghee, butter, hydrogenated vegetable fats increase cholesterol in the blood. Excess of fats, particularly saturated fats and cholesterol, should be avoided by sedentary, obese, old persons and patients with heart disease and high blood pressure. Now, we'll see what is caloric value. The energy required to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius at normal atmospheric pressure is known as 1 calorie. Similarly, the energy required to raise the temperature of 1 kg of water by 1 degree Celsius is called as kilocalorie, which is a unit of measure. Generally, energy is in the form of heat is expressed in the calorie, but when energy is expressed in term of work done, it is said to be in joule energy. 1 calorie is equal to 4.18 joule. The calorie values of different food items are different. The amount of heat liberated from complete combustion of 1 gram food in a bomb calorimeter is its calorific value. Gross calorific values of carbohydrates, proteins and fats are 4.1 kilocalorie, which is for carbohydrates, proteins 5.65 kilocalorie per gram, and for fats it's 9.45 kilocalorie per gram. Now you'll see vitamins. N.I. discovered vitamins. Hopkins and Funk propounded a vitamin theory. Vitamin was chemically an amine and was vital to life. Hence Funk named it vitamin. Vita means life and amine means vital amine. The term vitamin is renowned now omitting the terminal E in its spelling. The book entitled The Vitamins was written by Funk and published in 1922. Vitamin C is the most sensitive of all vitamins to heat. Antinuretic vitamins are B1, B6 and B12. Antioxidant vitamins are A, C and E. Vitamins are divided into two main groups. First is fat soluble and the other is water soluble. Fat soluble vitamins are vitamin A, D, E and K. Water soluble are vitamin B complex and C and P. Fat soluble vitamins, we'll discuss it first. Vitamin A, also known as retinol. Its source is carrot, tomato, papaya, mango, milk, eggs, etc. And its function is vital in vision, growth, differentiation of epithelial tissue. If its deficiency occurs, then night blindness, poor growth of skin, and rough and dry skin is seen. Vitamin D. It exists in two forms, D2 and D3. Its source is cod liver oil. Skin can also synthesize vitamin D in the presence of sunlight. It promotes growth of bones and teeth. Rickets in children and osteomalacia in adult is its deficiency symptoms. Vitamin E, also called tocopherol. Vitamin G, wheat germ, green leafy vegetables and fats of vegetable origin are its source. It is a good antioxidant, essential for normal function of reproductive organs and maintains muscles of body and structure of RBC. Vitamin E is also known as fertility vitamin. Vitamin E was discovered by Herbert Evans and Catherine Bishop in green leafy vegetables. Vitamin K, its source is leafy vegetables, wheat germ. Vitamin K is also synthesized by bacteria of large intestine. It helps in blood clotting, prevention of excessive bleeding, and faulty blood clotting is a deficiency symptom. Now we will discuss few water soluble vitamins. First is B complex, vitamin B1, also known as thiamine. Its source is whole grain, wheat germ, legumes, nuts, fish. It acts as a thiamine pyrophosphate in TCA cycle, also known as Krebs cycle. Vitamin B2, riboflavin. Milk, cheese, meats, egg, legume, water, wheat, germ, green leafy vegetables are its source. It helps in RBC production. Its deficiency causes cirrhosis. Vitamin B3, also known as niacin nicotinic acid. Its sources whole grain, nuts, legumes, yeast, liver, meat, poultry. It acts as an NAD and NADP in TCA cycle. Biotin, vitamin B7. Its sources egg yolk, milk, nuts, honey, liver, meat, fish. It helps in carbohydrate, protein and fat metabolism. If its deficiency occurs, then poor growth, loss of muscular control, loss of appetite, weakness, hair fall occurs. Folic acid, vitamin B10. Its source is green leafy vegetables. It's essential for formation of RBCs. In deficiency, it causes megablastic anemia. Folic acid was discovered by Lucy Wills in 1937. Now, vitamin B12. It is reported in spirulina and algae. Animal source liver, meat, fish, eggs, milk is found here. Now it helps, the vitamin 12 helps in RBC production. Its deficiency causes pernicious anemia. Hodgkin got Nobel Prize in Chemistry for the structure of B12. Now vitamin C, ascorbic acid. Its sources citrus fruits, amla, guava, tomato. It is essential for the formation of RBCs and the production of antibodies. It is good for bones, teeth and gums. It acts as an antioxidant. Its deficiency causes scurvy. James Lind discovered the cure of scurvy and reported that the citrus fruits are rich in vitamin C. Now we will discuss minerals. Minerals are classified as major and trace. This classification is based on how much the mineral is needed to the body. Major minerals or the macro elements are important nutrients in our diet. It is suggested that we consume 0.1 gram of each of these minerals per day. Trace minerals or the micro elements, as their name indicates, are needed in only small quantities. Let's discuss a few macro elements. First, calcium. The dairy products, eggs, wheat germ are the source. Its function, they are useful for formation of bones and teeth, help in blood clotting, keeps muscles and nerve activity normal. Its deficiency causes rickets and muscle spans. And now chlorine. Its source is table salt, seafood, chlorinated water. It maintains pH, balances in the body fluid, a constituent of hydrochloric acid in stomach. Its deficiency causes disturbance in pH balance of body fluid. Magnesium. Dairy products, cereals, green leafy vegetables are its source. It's help in muscle relaxation and also keeps nerves relaxed. It also synthesizes bones and teeth. Its deficiency causes convulsions and hallucinations. Now sodium. Sodium's source is table salt, most foods and wheat germ. It helps in muscle activity and transmission of nerve impulses. Its deficiency causes diarrhea, dehydration, cramps. Phosphate. Its sources dairy products, eggs, milk, fish, and meat. It's important for formation of bones, teeth, and biomembranes. It keeps muscles and nerves activity normal. It also synthesizes nucleic acids and synthesis of ATP. Its deficiency causes loss of bone minerals and many metabolic disorders including cardiac muscle nerves disorder. Now few microelements. Chromium. It promotes insulin action and its source is black gram, bajra, barley, groundnuts, meat. Its deficiency causes diabetic like symptoms. Copper. Its source is peanuts, barley, black gram. It promotes utilization of iron in hemoglobin. Its deficiency causes anemia. Iodine. As earlier, its source is iodinized salt, seafood. Its deficiency causes goiter. It helps in constituent of thyroxine hormone which is secreted by the thyroid gland. And as I said, its deficiency causes goiter. Iron. It is an constituent of hemoglobin and myoglobin. And its sources most meats, dried nuts, banana, honey, dates, green vegetables, etc. And its deficiency causes anemia. Manganese. We can find it in nuts, legumes, wheat germ, liver, and it helps in normal reproduction, function of mammary glands, and synthesis of hemoglobin. Its deficiency causes infertility, menstruation problems, impaired fat metabolism. Now we will discuss the disorders of digestive system. The intestinal tract suffers inflammation due to bacterial or viral infections. The infections are also caused by the parasites of the intestine like tapeworms, roundworms such as threadworms, hookworms, pinworms, etc. The common disorders are vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, indigestion, malnutrition, PME which stands for protein energy malnutrition. Vomiting. It is the ejection of stomach contents to the mouth. This reflex action is controlled by the vomit center in the medulla. A feeling of nausea precedes vomiting. Constipation. In constipation, the feces are retained within the rectum as the bowel movements occur irregularly. Diarrhea. The abnormal frequency of bowel movement and increased liquidity of the fecal discharge is known as diarrhea. It reduces the absorption of food. Indigestion. In this condition, the food is not properly digested, leading to a feeling of fullness. The causes of indigestion are inadequate enzyme secretion, anxiety, food poisoning, overeating, and spicy food. Jaundice. The liver is affected. In jaundice, the skin and eyes turn yellow due to the deposit of bile pigments. Malnutrition. It is a condition in which you are not getting enough food or right kind of food. The malnutrition covers problems of both undernutrition and overnutrition, such as undernutrition. It is due to unbalanced diet, however, excess intake of food is overnutrition. Protein energy malnutrition. Generally, the growing children suffer from protein energy malnutrition because they need more proteins for their growth and development. Protein energy malnutrition leads to two types of diseases, which is kwashiorkor and marasmus. First, we'll discuss kwashiorkor. It is developed in children whose diets are deficient of protein. It occurs in children between 6 months to 3 years of age. Subcutaneous fat is preserved. There is edema, skin and hair change color is seen. The enlarged fatty liver is found. Ribs are not very prominent. Appetite is poor. The person suffering from kwashiorkor needs adequate amount of proteins. Well, in the case of marasmus, it is due to the deficiency of proteins and calories. It is common in infants under 1 to 1 year of age. Subcutaneous fat is not preserved. Here, edema is absent. There is no change in color and hair. Colon, no fatty liver is found. Ribs are very prominent, and the person suffering from marasmus needs adequate amount of proteins, fats, and carbohydrates. Here you can see the picture of the children suffering from kwashiorkor and marasmus. Every individual should eat right and in right amount to be healthy.
So with this, we have come to the end of this chapter. In the next video, I'll make it on MCQ types, and in that I'll put only the important questions and the previously asked questions, so that it will be helpful for you to revise. If you have any doubts, queries, you can put it in the comment section. If you like my video, please like, share, subscribe, and do not forget to hit the bell icon. Thank you.